Welcome back to the artist, always known as me, Alejandro. We are going to be drawing the last of the Mamacitas in outer space. Yeah. And it is Tempra. She's the leader of the group. There she is. Twin guns of justice she's sporting. I did start her in pencil, doing my little other technique, but we are going to delve into how we got there. We'll do it in our steps. We got our pencil tool. We colored the pencil to like a light blue, and we are going to delve in and start mapping her out. Yes, in our little shapes, our circles and stuff. So I made this is just a regular raster layer. And of course we're doing our little circle in the pencil, just getting those lines. As you can see, she has a little visor blocking her eyes. But we still need to know where the eye line is, and this way we have an idea where the nose and those lips lie. So just start kind of mapping out my center line of where the center of her body is. And of course, one of those challenging poses where you have a body part closer to the camera, namely this would be her right hand, holding the gun, a laser gun, of course. Yeah, she's doing the dual handgun thing. She's not messing around. She's ready for action. And she's gonna show the bad guys what's up. So I'm just breaking around in blocks again. If this technique is cool for you, use it. If it's not, try your own thing. I kind of like doing the back and forth thing, but here I try to break it down and give you some ideas of how I get there. And sometimes with me, I'm just kind of just penciling and just using my imagination too. It's a lot of things being combined. This helps kind of break the body into little parts. And as you know, the female body is very challenging to draw. Realistically, anybody, you want to make sure anatomically things are where they should be. It's just figuring out where they lie every single time, the consistency thing. And the lines do help. Lines in the center of the legs and whatnot do help a lot. You want to make sure, in this case, the gun is going to be closer to you, so there is going to be that perspective of it getting smaller as it goes back, because that's the perspective you would see. I think a good reference is, I always see an image of Harvey Keitel holding the gun in Reservoir Dogs at the end. It's a great shot because it is exactly like that. So we fade out that so you can see a little bit of the pencil in that. So we're back to the pencil. You can see how everything's showing up. Just giving you an idea. Now we're going to do, I do have the lines, the layer that I just did with the blue pencil. So I'm going to use that and this as reference. Of course, tilt your canvas if needs be. This mask of her, this little visor, slightly inspired by Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. You're saying, I kind of think I've seen that before. I mean, not like Snake Eyes holds the marking on that specific visor type, but it was maybe an influence. Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe? Hope you know what I'm talking about. Let's geek out. I love my G.I. Joes. Some of my favorite cartoons and my favorite action figures. And Tempra. Yeah, I know it's a paint, but it just fit her. I thought Tempra was a good name for her. As you can see, I'm breaking up that forearm into little parts here. This one isn't too bad, because this gun is going to, this arm's going to be a little farther away. So it will get smaller as you go back. Remember that. I mean, yeah, I've been drawing for like 50 years. always, as I get older, my techniques and things change a little bit, but my style still remains the same if I'm trying to draw someone realistic. And that's what makes an artist an artist. You know, you're certain artists, you could tell that's their art just because of the way they draw. That's their signature, especially in comic books. You'll know a Jim Lee from a George Perez or Neil Adams, Frank Cho or Ed Benz, and probably from an Alex Rudy. That's their style. That's what makes them them. You can emulate them, use them for inspiration, for sure. And you know, embrace your own style. That's what I'm saying here. If you draw this and it looks a little different than what I have, that's fine. I did expand the canvas a little bit. I'm not sure if you noticed it. So she could fill out the page as much as possible. Because she just, for some reason, looked like she wasn't taking up much of the page before. So she's running into camera, ready to shoot in both directions. And she's that good. She's got a good sense of things. Quick reflexes. Between her and her teammates, Panlala and Zantique, who I drew earlier before. And then Quisela joins them, the one who controls fire. So remember all this. Once I get Fight to Save the Universe uploaded, obviously I have to finish writing the second drafts and start drawing some things. I've kind of gotten lost in my Misty origin story. Well, what does that have to do with this? Nothing at the moment, but Misty is in Fight to Save the Universe, so I was hoping to have some kind of origin story. Before I revealed her story, it's been very difficult. The brain dump works to an extent. As you know, following me when I create my characters, most of the time it's a look. Like, oh, this is an interesting idea. Maybe it starts with a hair or a face, something in the nose, or an idea of, do they have weapons? Do they have powers? Do they wear a mask? So this is very, very rough. As you can tell, as you know me pretty well, I like to put the hair on a different layer. So get another vector layer, put it above your layer that you just did her line work on her rest of her body, and then do her hair above it, if you want. I just think, as I've been doing this, it's a lot better to keep the hair separate for some reason, especially when you're coloring it. These will all get eventually colored. That's the next step. And then she has her little infamous ponytail. It's just wild hair. Luscious, lively, blonde, flowing hair. Just a little race here and there, and so that will be it for this. But yes, actually, the next spot. Bingo! Okay, now she's a little more centered, and I did a lot of revisions, as you can see. Had to tighten things up. Some things were out of place. Her visor was terrible. And I wanted to bring her hand out a little more. It would have been great if I had it straight, but even at an angle, it's okay. She could be like that. Just wanted to expand this, fill it in a little bit more. In lieu of having a model, I had to do this purely from imagination. In the Mamacitas, I had these ideas for the three of them, and this is what came up. I can't believe the center line was giving me some fits. Yeah, it would help to study more anatomy, in this position, how would the throat line up, and the muscles in the arms, how Much more is being shown. And give her this little, I don't know what to call it, a truffle. I just like giving her this little piece that's like a top piece to her outfit. And then rounded gloves. It is weird to do that from that perspective, because when you see it from the side, this is what it really looks like. It's just this rounded glove as it reaches the end of it. And I like to continue it from the ink drawing. It just seems a little more stable. I got rid of that because in this piece, as you can see, she has this little diamond that will connect her neckline to the rest of her garb. And I'm not sure how this design came to me. I just started doodling. That's where you could get some of your best stuff. It's one of the best things about the digital realm. You could have lines cross and just erase all that later. Oh, I love it. But I tend to think the ideas of them came pretty easily. She's more of the more human version, the human person in this group. Whereas the other women were aliens, she's more of the human. She's a human, but a mamacita in outer space. So how are we working on those resolutions, right? More creativity, I hope. This I'm going to change later. Like I said, with a lot of this, it's okay for now. You can always change it. I have this little triangle coming off the side. I usually color it red. I know, it's just like, I like this one little addition. It's only on one side of her outfit undies. Alright, so you can always pause and start doing erasing, because the next sketch, yeah, there she is. I've erased lines I don't need. I fixed her outer panties. And I'm adding the rings to her gloves. I have 4 on each glove. Sometimes it takes a while, my friends. Sometimes it takes a while. There she is. So, yeah, I'm going to add just a little bit of a gun design. Give her gun something. There you go. Remember, you can always cross stuff. Very simple. I'm going to add details for the guns. I think I put them on a separate layer too. Another vector layer. So we have your details. Start erasing stuff we don't need, as always. Some things I just keep it on there because I just can't proceed unless it's deleted. It's just, ugh, this thing. I have to get rid of it. Alright, is it time for some details? So since I don't have her eyes, I'm going to start her visor. As you can see, one side of the visor I do vertically and the other one I do horizontally. Making it a little dark. Maybe made it a little too dark, which I'll lighten up later. You know, it's funny when you're this close, it looks pretty cool, but when you pull back sometimes it's like, it's a little too much. Now if I'm doing this in pencil, it's a lot easier. I can go back and forth. The stylus is very challenging at times to really get comfortable with. But we manage, see? I do prefer the round mixing brush now. The G pen was good. The round mixing brush gives you a little more flair. So just erasing those lines. See, it's pretty dark. But we'll leave it for now and just move on. And some little shade to her lips. Go on the side. Little cheek muscles there. A strong woman. Shadow under her neck. I kind of want the light to be coming from her right side, which would be the left of the screen. So her left side should be a little more shaded. We love our lines, don't we? Yes, I do. I do love my lines. It just adds a little more dimension. See, the round brush can, I think I have it set to a 4 or 3. Looks like a 4. When I do the hair, it becomes 3. Or if I really want to do some fine details, I'll go to 3. And then just the centerpiece. Yeah, I think I went a little dark, but I will lighten it up later. Well, I hope in 2026 we'll get things fixed, but now it's being a bit of a challenge. It hasn't started off that well. As of this recording, I have to get another phone. I can't believe it. I got a new phone almost exactly half a year ago in July because I dropped my other phone in the pool. And this one was working fine, but I think I was at a Buccaneers game and it was raining and it slipped out of my pocket and fell in a puddle. It was working fine for 2 days, and then the third day it just would not be able to unlock from the unlock screen. It would just keep going back. Try to get it repaired, and now I have to get a new phone. Sprock, as a legion of superheroes would say. Not what I intended here. Gotta start some more intentions and manifesting, right? Like creativity. Well, gotta make time for your creativity. It's very important. Especially shading boobies. It's very important if you're doing those. But no, seriously. I think we had to repair our water heater. Not the way I wanted to start 2026. I want, money flowing in, not leaving me. This, I think I did a little too much. It's funny, like it looks pretty cool when you do it, and it's like, oh, I need a few more lines for shading because it's underneath. Just erase what the excess. But I will fix this later too. What I like to do is do these and just keep moving on. Because you add all your details, then you could step back and then see what's working, what isn't. At least do what you're feeling right now, and then you can always change it later. Digitally erase. Yep, there you go. Of course, there's going to be some shadow there because that finger is going back. There's a gun there. There's going to be some shadow there. You can do that. That was fun. I don't know how artists do this for reals when they're doing inking. Hand inking. Yeah, see, I could tell it's pretty dark. But we're moving on. Go to her ribs and then her stomach muscles, rib cage. There we go. That center line. And that leading into the hip. There. And some shade there. Just showing off them curves. They're superheroic women. Have got to have those curves. That's why we like drawing them. Yeah, see, I got rid of all that. I was like, yeah, it's too much. I could have paused the video, but I'm like, I want to show you. As you can see, it just felt too much. Let's start all over. Going from that angle. That's the other cool thing, too. When you have these canvases, you can go upside down. It's pretty wild. I wasn't too happy about that. Like, let me do this and just started making it go fade a little bit. Just a little bit there. Just a hint. There we go. Looks a little better. It's not intense, not as intense. But I do want to add a little more shading on that left leg. That looks pretty rad. kind of, with that shading, it gives you a little more roundness. Because right now it's just this flat thing. Now you're curving your lines, of course. See, the line has just that curve, and it's just kind of showing a little bit of the curve of how the leg would be. It has that accentuation. I eventually get rid of that one too. You'll see it in the final sketch. The details are looking pretty good. Pretty pleased with sugar on top. A little cross there. Kind of happy with that, but I didn't like the opposing line that much. Get rid of it. Don't need it. It's distracting. Go with it. There we go. A little more what I was trying to do. Nice. It doesn't look right, but when you pull back, it looks better. Moving along, I'm going to put her gun details on its own layer. I just wanted to do that. I didn't want it to be on the same layer as her fingers and all that, because you could see some things are going to cross over. So if I started erasing lines, I'd be erasing my detail lines on her fingers. So that's why I put the detail layer for the guns on their own separate layer. Forward thinking. See, like right now, I'm doing this kind of design on the gun, and it's going right across her fingers, and if I had put it on the same layer, start erasing, I'd lose those details. Think about that. Layers are fun. It's like something you can't do in the pencil world. Not like this. Because in the pencil world, you got to just kind of imagine your lines, and if you're doing ink, then yeah, you can have your pencils crossed, but even when you're inking, you still won't be able to go outside the lines. Because that's it. There's no fixing it. Kind of wanted to show the inside barrel of this gun, and I was just feeling a little sloppy. Like, yeah, this is okay. Ish. And then still sticking with the mixing brush, but just kind of adding those. You do those broken up lines, it kind of looks like metal reflecting. So you just go right towards the edge, bang. Kind of looks like metal, doesn't it? Yeah. And then just adding these perspective lines. Just giving your gun a little more, just like if light was hitting and the shadow was there. It gives it something extra. Yeah, just a little bit more. On the bottom of the gun, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. There you go. Just fill it in, fill it in. Now, maybe I should have had that bottom part of the gun in its own different layer, but that's neither here nor there. But that's what the fun of it. You could just play around with all these lines, make things darker. Granted, you don't have to go this crazy with the detail. It's just my thing. But you're more than welcome to. Now I've got to do these lines again. I'm trying to figure out how they look at this angle. These cross hatching lines. There won't be as many as the other one, but still going to make them. And let's tilt our canvas. See? You don't have to go completely across, but just enough so they're meeting. Cool. Just erase it from the fingers, the elbow, the neck, and the chin. Just the fingers. And have any of you ever seen or read Henry V? We're getting into Shakespeare? Yeah. Well, there's a funny scene, at least I've seen the movie, and Emma Thompson plays a French princess, and she's learning English. And that's a funny scene where she's trying to say the word. She says, fingers, de belbo for the elbow, and de nick, and de chin. Out of everything in that movie, that's the one part that sticks out, hey. Major credit to her performance. Any meow. Hair details are on their own layer. I love to play around with the hair. Just bunch of lines flowing here and there. I'm not stringing them together as much as I want to. This is just my style. If you really want to get stringy and get them together, hey, go for it. I just want the illusion of hair and not going that much into crazy detail. It's just my style, and that's it. I stick with it. I don't want to just like pigeonhole myself saying it's pretty simple, because it's not. But it's a little more simple than those top tier artists I was mentioning before. I'm not trying to compare myself to them, but I admire them and love their work, and I strive to be as good as them in my own style, which you should try to do in this case, definitely. So we're almost done. The weird thing here is I'm not going to show you how I did my background. The background's just going to be there in the final shot. I just added some airbrushing and stuff and put it in there. So we'll see the final shot in a few more seconds. But I think we got all the details we need. There she is. The final shot will show the final details right now. Boom! There she is. The final result. Tempra, the last of the Mamacitas in outer space. See, just added this kind of airbrushed background like she's charging into battle, ready to take out some bad guys and show them what's up. Show them who's who. Yeah. It was fun drawing her. I really like drawing Tempra. She's a really cool looking character, I think. Well, thank you for joining me as always. Hope this was fun. And hope it kept the creative juices flowing. And let's keep them going the rest of this year. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it mucho. I'll see you on the next vid. Until then, as always, keep creating.